All right, before we get started with the torture test on the SOCOM Bravo, I want to remind everyone and let you know that our website is live at microtechgear.com. So if you're looking for t-shirts, hoodies, or anything like that, those are available as we speak. Also, comment below on what kind of videos you guys would like to see in the future. And here we go with the torture test. You asked for it and we are going to deliver. What we're going to do today is test a brand new, out of the box SOCOM Bravo with a torture test. So this is a SOCOM Bravo SE. It was pulled right out of inventory. This is serial number 246. 246. So what we're going to do before we get started with anything is I am just going to put my initials right here on this side of the blade as well as here. Doesn't need to be legible. Just need to give a marking so you guys can see how unique it is as far as the marking. So we've got one up right there and then a really nasty one here. And then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and start testing this. Remember, serial number 246. All right, so we still hand assemble and sharpen every one of these here at Microtech as well as the laser engraving. I figured the very first thing we would do is start off with just a paper test. This is a standard piece of copy paper, and you guys can see it is extremely sharp just from the get-go. All right, so one of the first tests you guys asked for was a standard drop test. Comes out of your pocket, maybe you fumble it or whatever. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drop it from about pocket height, and we're on top of concrete right now, so I'm gonna start dropping it. We'll drop it a total of 10 times, so here we go. There's 1, 2, 3. There's 10. That one actually opened when we dropped it. So now I'm going to drop it off this where it'll bounce. Maybe we'll get it to drop onto the, there we go, a glancing blow like that. Now remember, this is a titanium body. And then we're going to come up here, I'll drop it on this steel a few times. This will be a good one because this is going to fall off. All right, so what we're doing is we're checking the lock bar here. We still have great lock up. We'll see if it still flips. No problem. And where we're starting to suffer the damage is right here on the titanium where it fell. We don't have any chipping of the carbon fiber. Pocket clip still looks good and alignment looks good. We do have a chipped tip off the blade of the knife, which is kind of what I expected. Usually you're going to lose a tip because you got to remember, you got to think about the hardness of these, and in order to be able to have a good cutting edge, it still has to be hard enough. So we did lose just a bit of the tip, which is actually quite common for most pocket knives. All right, so we are fortunate enough to have some ice here. This has been driven over many times by 18-wheelers. So, and just to show you guys how tough this stuff is, this is solid right in here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to take the blade itself, I'm making sure I'm holding down the lock bar, and I am just going to pick at this until maybe we can break a section of this ice off. There we go. We'll do a little bit of prying here. So you guys can see that. And like I said, pretty simple test, but just doing a little ice chipping. All right, so one of the other things we want to test is how well the lock bar is actually going to hold up. So the only way to really test that is by hitting on the back of the blade. Be careful when you do this, guys, because you can get cut doing it. Hitting on the backside like that, you can still see it's the RH, you can still see it's the same serial number, and that's how you would test that lock bar. It's just by hitting on it to make sure that this doesn't collapse. And with this over, there really is no way, as long as you have enough engagement, and these are all cut by hand, to make sure that blade can't fold over on you. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is a chop test, and we'll be batoning off the back of the blade. This is number 6 wire solid copper core. We'll start off with this and we'll move on to something more difficult if it can get through this. So I'm just gonna place this here. This is on the back. No problem, nice clean cut right here, guys. Let's do it again. And again, that time on the tip. All right, so now we're gonna step it up to something really heavy duty. Guys, this is 1/2 inch thick. This is what we call triple-aught copper wire. I don't know if you guys can see that here. We have a nice clean edge on this side, and we're going to try to baton through the back of this. So here we go. Now I knew that was going to take some work because guys, even if you have a set of side cutters, you physically can't cut through this. This is extremely heavy and it made it through it. As far as the edge itself, it's still a nice, pretty smooth edge there. We'll see if we can cut through a penny. So I don't know if this is possible, but someone said I ought to try to cut through a penny. So we're gonna try. I don't know if this is going to be doable. So maybe we can at least score it. And that's straight through and through my work table. If we haven't done enough already, what we're gonna try to do is we're going to baton through this. This is going to take a while. It is going to make a lot of noise, but I think it's definitely possible to baton through this, but I'm going to use the back of this for batoning. Not that most people would ever do this with a pocket knife, but at least we'll be able to see it. So here we go. Let's make a mess in my office. There it is. So guys, that's the SOCOM Bravo. Try to do this with gloves on. There it is, still good. Let's check the alignment on the blade. You guys want to look at that up close. So the next thing that is completely unrealistic, but everybody wants to see it, and that is the nail test. So basically, I'm gonna make sure I do not put my hands in the way, and I'm gonna drive this through the 2x4. So let me go ahead and pull this baby out. You know what? Let's just do this. There it is. You guys can still see the serial number, still see where I hit it with this sharpener. Doing a pry test is never recommended. It is a surefire way to break a tip on any knife that you use. But what we're gonna do is I'm going to start prying into this. Yes, it does have a slightly chipped blade from out in the parking lot, but we'll try it and see if we can get through this. We'll do a torque test, how's that? And we are through the other side. That's it. All right guys, so you can see that it still has the signature. This is still serial number 0246. And I don't know if this is gonna work. Chances are it's not going to work, but I'm just going to take a piece of paper from off my desk. We'll see if we have any edge whatsoever to be able to cut this piece of paper. No idea. Oh my goodness. And guys, we have not touched this at all. That's the actual blade that we started with. You can see that it has not been sharpened. It does not have a honed edge, and that was after the penny test and all. So you can see that the Microtech quality is still there. What we're gonna do now is remember, all of our knives come with a lifetime warranty. And if you were to break your tip like this, it is possible to reprofile that tip and that blade as long as you didn't break too much off of it. And even so, let's say we did break a 1/4 inch off, you'd be able to reprofile it a little bit. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna zoom in on this tip, get really close to it, and we're gonna take it down, pretend that it went through RA, and we're gonna have this tip reprofiled, and we'll show you a before and after. So stay tuned for that. All right, so we've done about everything we could do to this SOCOM Bravo. It's been reprofiled, it's been oiled, it's been cleaned, and so just because we can, what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to split a 40 cal bullet. This is a 180 grain projectile at about 1100 feet per second, and we're going to try to shoot the blade and split the bullet. So let's see what happens. It's the same blade, serial number 0246. You can still see my marks from the Sharpie here on the top of the blade. All right, for this crazy test, we are going to be using an SVI Infinity in 40 cal. And so we're just gonna do one bullet, and I should be able to split that. Don't know how much I'm going to be able to center it on the blade, left or right, but I'll try to get it as centered as best I can. So let's do this. All right, so we did shoot it with a 40 caliber. And if you look here, this is a brand new piece of cardboard. You can see the left side had a little bit bigger projectile, and the right side where we split it actually got caught right here. So I'm actually gonna pull this out, and it shaved the jacket off of that. You can see where it just cut it clean. We'll show you some close-ups of that, but you can actually see the impact of where it split the bullet right here. This is still the same blade. You can check out the edge, it looks perfect. So we were able to shoot it with a 40 cal pistol. All right, we hope you enjoyed this completely unrealistic test of the SOCOM Bravo, or any pocket knife for that matter. The things that we subjected this knife to, and it's still in perfect working order. Remember, we did profile the tip, and we did resharpen it, and it still has all the damage here. One of the cool things about it though is we are gonna give this knife away. It does have the initials from when I started. It also has the mark from when I shot it, and we're also going to provide the sliver of the jacket from the side we're able to get out of the backing. So in order to win this knife, all you have to do, 3 simple things: like the video, subscribe to Microtech Knives, and just comment with your comment of choice below. We hope you enjoyed this. We hope you have a great week. We'll see you on the next one.